This is a very famous question. Calculate square root of 2 to the power of 4 to the power of 3 to the power of 1 to the power of 2 to the power of 6 to the power of 7. Very tough, isn't it? How many exponents? Let us count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 exponents. Don't worry. I think most of you have noticed this one is special, isn't it? Before we move on, I have to tell something about the order of the calculation. The question is, do we calculate in this way from the bottom to the top, or in this way from the top to the bottom? What do I mean? For example, I have two guys, a to the power of b to the power of c. I have only one guy, okay? Not two guys. The second guy will come later, okay? So now I have only one guy. And my question is, do we calculate it in this way, or we calculate it in this way? That means, in which way do I calculate? In this way or in this way? Shall I firstly calculate a to the power of b, and this is the new base, and c is the new exponent? Or I calculate it from the top, b to the power of c, and this guy is the new exponent, and a is still the base. What's your opinion? There may exist many opinions. However, in mathematics, the real way is the second one. We calculate from the top to the bottom. Maybe you have a question. But what shall I do if I want to calculate a to the power of b first, and then to the power of c? Now our second guy comes. You're only allowed to write it in this way. This guy means this, and this guy means, of course, this. If you want to calculate from the bottom to the top, you're only allowed to write it in this way. No way without brackets. So you always have to add brackets. Understand? This guy, 1. So under the square root, we have this guy. We know here exists a 1. So I know we should calculate it from the top to the bottom. So now we can actually calculate this part first. 1 to the power of 2 to the power of 6 to the power of 7. Of course, we should calculate 6 to the power of 7 first, and then add the exponent of 2, and then all these guys together is the exponent of our 1, because 1 to the power of any number is equal to itself, 1. So that means the answer is 1, because we calculated from the top to the bottom. So it is actually this. But we know this is also a number. 1 to the power of any real number equals 1. So this equals 1. So what does it mean? It means that this section equals 1. Don't worry. Let's move on. Then we have to calculate 2 to the power of 4 to the power of 3, then to the power of 1. Of course, it is 2 to the power of 4 to the power of 3. And 4 to the power of 3 is 64. That means the total thing under the root equals 2 to the power of 64. We also have a square root. So square root of 2 to the power of 64. It is, of course, 2 to the power of 64, then to the power of 1/2. It is 2 to the power of 64 times 1/2. And the answer is 2 to the power of 32. If you want to calculate this to the power of 32, of course, you can. And the answer will be 4294967296. However, you don't have to. This one is enough. Did you get it? Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to me for more wonderful questions. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.